Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and the channel is the Everyday Card Collector. Today we are going to do our Strongsville recap. Basically what I'm going to do is kind of give you my opinion on the show, which I'm sure you're pretty familiar with already. Kind of just how things went on while I was there and played out. And then I'm going to show some gifts. This community is incredible, had a ton of gifts. I simply cannot show them all because it was insane what I received. So I picked a few out. From individual people, and I'll kind of name them. I will apologize in advance, guys. It was crazy what people were giving me as gifts, and it was a ton of stuff. So I tried to keep it separate in the 3 days that I was there, but may have mixed some up. So please, if I missed you, I truly do apologize. If I missed you in this video, please, in the comments, let me know that I did, and I can rectify it in the future. And then if I mixed something up, again, I really do apologize, but I was trying to keep track of it. And I think I did pretty good on it, but I may be off on one or two. So there's several things to show. I kind of cut down what I was going to show because so many people were so generous. I had so much stuff. So that being said, once I'm done talking about the show itself here, I'll turn the camera around and we'll show some of the gifts. But, you know, you haven't heard it from anybody, or you haven't. This isn't the first time you're hearing this about how fantastic the show is. This is my second year going. I had an absolute blast, just like I did the first year. I'm calling this my Strongsville, recap and kind of my final Strongsville video for this year. But of course, I do have several items coming back from SGC, and that'll be a reveal probably 5-6 weeks down the road. So this will kind of be it, and we'll kind of move into some more standard formatted videos. But had an absolute blast at the show, guys. A lot bigger than last year as far as community. A lot more channels and people who pump out videos were there. I just want to make it very clear, when I say community, that doesn't mean you have to have a channel. There are several guys who come to this show who don't have channels that are part of this community, in my opinion, and they're viewers and commenters, and they are close tied in parts of this community. And I'll kind of mention a few of them as I'm showing gifts. But, Ruben Schneider, just off the top of my head. Jim Gillum is another guy who these guys are comment and watch everybody's stuff and have been around for a while. Jeremy, I got to meet Jeremy. He's from the West Coast and knows Greg very well. Midlife Cards. There's so many of them. I just don't want to forget anybody. Even beyond that, even beyond who was at the show, Andrew, who's been on Cardboard and Cold Ones. My friend Joe, who was at the show with us, he doesn't have a channel. There are so many people involved in this community that I want people to understand that you don't have to feel like you have to make videos to be part of this. All you have to do is show up. All you have to do is comment. All you have to do is say hello. Another gentleman who I met for the first time, the Nomad Collector. I follow him on Instagram, Jay. He introduced himself to me. Found out he doesn't live that far from me. Gave me a phenomenal gift. I'm going to show it in this video. One. Gave me several. I'm going to show one item that he gifted me. But found out he doesn't live that far from me. We're going to go hang out and do a card show at some point in time. I got his contact information. And we're going to have a blast. He's got a fabulous collection. I follow him on Instagram, so I know what he's into and the stuff that he likes. But, I'll kind of keep this short. Show's phenomenal, guys. I think you've heard it a couple times. I'll reiterate this. If you are a vintage collector and that's basically all you collect, and you have the choice to either go to the National or Strongsville, I would recommend Strongsville over the National. The National is in my hometown for the next 3 years, which is nice, but I don't know that I'm going to do all 4 days there. I might shorten up what I'm doing there. I can also guarantee you that, like I did last year, I'm probably going to spend more money at Strongsville than I did at the National. Strongsville is just a much, much more intimate setting, smaller show, hotels right there, everybody's staying there, and you really get some quality time to hang out with friends. That's what this is. So that's what you're going to hear over and over again, and you probably already have on the 1,000 recaps. But I stress that because it's not just hot air. It's real. It is real. Last year's Strongsville is really what kind of put my foot in the door as to being part of this community and getting into the community. I had met several content creators prior to starting the channel, started it off, made some headway with my channel. You know, people were very supportive, like Orlando and Sammy and Alex Bowman 53. Those guys were all very supportive. But once I got to Strongsville and met people firsthand, that was the light bulb of, hey, it enriched my hobby experience. So Strongsville will do that for you. And it's no hot air. It's just real. That's what it is. We all get together. We all have a blast, and just have a lot of fun hanging out and enjoying the hobby with each other. So met a few new channels. I'll kind of talk about that while I'm showing some of these gifts, and you know, hoping to collaborate with them a little bit more. And you know, off the top of my head, I'll rattle off a few. Joe from Pre-War Dreams. I was already following Joe. He jumps on Alex's live every Sunday, so I was following Joe already, but got to meet him for the first time. Reverend Steve just started a channel probably 2 weeks prior to Strongsville, and I'm so glad he did. Got to meet him. He gave me a gift. I won't have his gift here. I gave him a gift, and then he gave me a gift. He also roasts coffee. So I jokingly said on Cardboard and Cold Ones, because he was watching it on Thursday when Sammy and I did it from the bar, hey, bring me some coffee. And he did. And that was seriously a joke. I didn't expect that. So I'm not showing his gift because my wife and I are already enjoying the coffee. So thank you, Reverend Steve. Hoping to do some stuff with you in the future. I know you're a new channel, but excited that you jumped on. Finally got to meet Jay, Average Vintage Collector. We have chatted. We have been on Cardboard and Cold Ones together. We have texted each other, but it's nice to see these people for the first time. Rob Cash Cards, Dave Vintage T. These are all people that I met for the first time who weren't at Strongsville last year. Just a ton of cool people, and I know I'm missing out on some people, so I apologize. I just, it's a whirlwind of sensory overload. So you try to keep everything in order and do the best that you can. But that's Strongsville, guys. You guys, you've heard it. You know, I strongly recommend going if you get the chance. It's a small show, and it's only going to get bigger. So I anticipate it getting bigger and bigger each year as this goes forward. But we'll kind of close the book on how I feel about it. You know, I'm sure these videos will be out again next year. And I wanted to show some of the cool gifts I got, show you how generous this community is, because it's some amazing stuff. So we'll get the camera turned around and we'll take a peek. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so that's kind of a wrap on the show itself, but let's show some of this cool stuff that I received as gifts. Extremely generous community, as you guys all know. But I just wanted to show some of the stuff because it's really cool. Some of the stuff is absolutely fantastic. I picked out a couple of my favorites. I will tell you, you know, on the side, my buddy Warren D in the CLE, he just loaded me up. And that's where the confusion started to come. He kept giving me gifts after gifts, and it was stacks upon stacks of cards, and they started mixing in with everything I had. So a special shout out to my buddy Warren. He's a great guy, awesome part of this community, and you know, thrilled to call him a friend. So thank you, Warren, for all that you did. I'll show a couple of the items you had here, and but I wanted to shout him out because he just kept loading me up, and he's a fantastic dude. So first and foremost, I did receive a couple gifts from my buddy Sammy. He actually loaded me up as well. He has shown this on the channel, but I was excited to get it. Baseball Thrills 58, Billy Pierce, All-Star Starter card. So that was pretty cool. I was pretty pumped to get that. He had shown that to me ahead of time, but I'm excited. You guys all know I show Billy Pierce quite a bit. And I think he should be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion, or could be. He's right on the edge. This was something really cool from Sammy, and I love this thing. So it's a 1961 picture pack of the Chicago White Sox, and you can see on the sticker there you've got Nellie Fox, Minnie Minoso, Louis Aparicio, Billy Pierce, Early Wynn, Al Lopez, the manager, and a few others that you might not be as familiar with. Sherm Lawler, my guy Sherm Lawler's in here. But this hasn't been opened, and I think it's fantastic. And I don't know whether to open it or not. Right now I've left it unopened, but Boy, that is cool, and I sure would like to maybe open it and see the other photos. But we'll see if I do that or not. But right on top, of course, is my man Nelly. So very cool. So those were a couple. When I say a couple, Sammy loaded me up as well. A couple of gifts from Sammy. So thank you very much, Sammy. I appreciate that. Next is my man Keith, Lonely Basement. Now, Lonely Basement cards. Now, he gave me a couple things, but then we were walking through the show together, and he gave me this. How cool is that? So it's the Al Lopez postcard of his Hall of Fame induction, and it's autographed. So this is the second one that I have in my collection of these. You know, they're pretty common, but they're super, super cool. My first one was Johnny Mize that I picked up at my LCS. So I couldn't believe he handed this to me. What a fantastic gift. So I'm sure you're all pretty familiar with the postcards of their Hall of Fame inductions, but how cool is that it's autographed? So thank you, Keith. Next is a gentleman who's, I mentioned him earlier. He does not have a channel, James Gillum. I met him last year at Strongsville, a huge part of this community and an awesome dude. And by the way, has a pretty awesome collection. So he's one of those guys who's got a fabulous collection. He doesn't have a channel. You don't hear much about it, but it's when we start talking about cards, it's pretty stellar. So understand this, there's a ton of beautiful collections out there. Just because they don't have channels doesn't mean there's not a ton of awesome collections out there. But I thought this was awesome. 1986 Coca-Cola Tom Seaver in the White Sox uniform, in the correct uniform. That's just for Sammy, just so that he knows this is the correct uniform. So beautiful card, stats on the back. And how crazy, guys. I mean, it's graded in an 8.5. How crazy of a gift is that? These people are crazy generous. He gave me a couple things, and I wanted to show this one as well. Same set, but it's the mini. So I think that's awesome. Very cool. So thank you, James. Next is my man Mookie. Mookie Chilson is the best. Had a fantastic show. His last day, he smashed it with a fabulous card. I would suggest you go check out his channel if you want to see what that card is, Mookie Chilson. I got to see him as he was walking out with the card and couldn't have been happier for him. So, first thing he gave me, 1998 Bowman Chrome, Maglio Ordonez rookie card. How beautiful is that? In a 10. Now, that means a lot to me because this is the era I was knee-deep in watching these guys. So I was really, really thrilled to have this and do not have it. So super pumped to get that. And then in Mookie Chilson fashion, gave me a couple cards. I wanted to show this one. Beautiful 1961 Mini Minoso. If you look at the details, as Mookie did his forensic analysis on this, you can see that the card has been adjusted. So he was midway through the season, not on the White Sox, but someone actually wrote in there St. Louis Cardinals and crossed off White Sox. So very cool. And then did the same on the back as well. You can see Chicago's crossed off. So after deep analysis and forensic analysis by my friend Mookie, I now have a 1-of-1 Mini Minoso with the St. Louis Cardinals. So thank you, Mookie. This was a fabulous gift, and only the second one in my collection. This came from Eric, the Detroit collector. 1964 Al Lopez, manager of the White Sox. You just saw his autograph. For those who are real familiar with this, you'll know off the bat, but only the second one in my collection because it's a Venezuelan. So how cool is that? So I've got I've shown the 64 Harmon Killebrew RBI leaders in it too, and now I've got the Al Lopez Veni. So that is so awesome. And for a Veni, guys, this is in really good shape. I know some of you may cringe, but I'd consider grading this just because it's in good shape for a Veni. So centered well, back is intact. I'm pretty pumped about that. So thank you so much, Eric. I really appreciate that. Okay, here's where we kind of start to get into the fray of, maybe I'll show this one first. So I'd mentioned my friend, the Nomad Collector, Jay. He doesn't live that far from me. We have never officially met. He introduced himself to me at trade night. And what does he give me? He gives me some fabulous gifts. This was just amazing. So it's a 5-card set, all metal collector cards of Michael Jordan. I believe it's from 1996. Don't quote me on that, guys. I looked it up a couple days ago and have a terrible memory. I think it was from 96. But how fabulous is that? So if you look at the cards, they're actually metal tin cards. I was not familiar with the set, so this is absolutely amazing to me. Being the Jordan collector that I am, and not knowing about this and having it in my hands now, needless to say, I was a tad bit excited. So it's a 5-card set. I don't want to take them out too much, but I just showed you a couple. And then he gave me a couple other gifts as well. Some of the gifts I'll just keep for myself. I didn't want to show them all. But Jay, the Nomad Collector, thank you very much, my friend. And we'll be hanging out soon at a show. We got to keep in touch with each other. So very cool card there. So I think I got this straight, guys. If I didn't, please let me know and I'll apologize in advance. I believe this came from Jay, Average Vintage Collector. Got a couple cards from him, but I'm not 100% certain because things were moving so fast. 2018 Bowman High-Tech Luis Robert autograph. So again, just an amazing piece. Guys sending me or gifting me amazing graded cards. I just think that's crazy cool. And I believe it came from Jay, so thank you, Jay. If it did not, guys, please correct me, because the next couple I might kind of be mixing up a little bit. And please don't be offended that I may have forgotten or mixed up. It was just, like I said, sensory overload and a whirlwind of gifts and conversations. I believe these next 2 cards came from Jim Faulkner. My buddy Jim's got a channel, big Orioles fan and Nolan Ryan collector. And he went ahead and I've got this beautiful Tommy John, 1970 Tommy John. Again, a stack of cards. I just picked out a few that I really enjoyed. I want to give credit where credit is due to everyone. Show some cards, but again, so generous. This would have been an hour and a half video if I showed everything. And a 61 Billy Pierce. Very well centered as well. So how cool is that? So thank you, Jim, if I got that correct. Thank you. If I didn't, you guys just let me know. The next couple came from my man Warren, because he knows what I'm about. And again, I know some of them did, and they were mixed up, guys. I believe most of these were Warren, so I'm going to rattle through them quick because Warren just loaded me up. So I've got a beautiful Leaf Michael Jordan card, and then a couple of these one-on-one Jordans. I think he gave me 4 of them when he was playing in AA for the Barons. So how cool is that? I love these. There's this 45. How awesome is that? Love it, love it, love it. I think Warren also, just a few that I picked out, supplied me with these 2 cards. And if I'm wrong, guys, let me know. Well, Mike Singletary action, Hall of Fame linebacker for the Bears. And then the Prismo Power, I thought was a beautiful card of Eloy Jimenez. So that was my guy, Warren. Awesome cards. I appreciate them. And again, guys, please correct me in the comments. I won't be upset. There are 3 cards that I think were either Warren, Jay, or Jay Average Vintage Collector, or Jim Faulkner. So I'm going to show them all. And if I'm wrong and someone else gave me these, please let me know. I think this might have been Jim. 64 All-Star Vets. I was actually looking at purchasing this card like 3 weeks ago. So when I was gifted it, that's why I think I seem to remember it being Jim, because I made that statement. It might be somebody else, but guys, please let me know. But what a beautiful card. I was actually looking at this and the Venny of this card. So I couldn't have been happier with that and more excited about that. And then these 2 cards, I just love. This first one's number 37 out of 50. And it's a replica of the Sportscasters, and it's a Stan Musial. So how cool is that? Number 37 out of 50. Just a gorgeous card. I was really pumped to get that. That thing stuck out at me the minute I saw it. And then, of course, again, my man Stan the Man, repping 90 tops, right? I think it's 90. Terrible with the 80s tops, but I believe it's 89 or 90 tops. I believe it's 90 tops. So how cool is that, guys? So those are just a few of the gifts I received. Again, if I mix something up, I keep saying it because I don't want anyone to be upset. I appreciate everything I got. You guys are the best. I had an absolute blast with y'all. I'm excited to do it again next year. I'm hoping to see some of you at the National. If you're watching this and you're just a viewer and you don't even comment, please feel free, comment, stop and say hello to me if you see me at the National. I love it. It means a lot to me, and I think it's fabulous. And at the end of the day, we might be hanging out just based on that conversation. So, but that's all I got for you guys. I'm going to kind of wrap up Strongsville here. Thank you all for the wonderful gifts. We'll kind of get back on standard content starting. Maybe I'll post another video on Saturday. And then, of course, when my stuff comes in from SGC in a couple weeks, we'll do that. I should have a PSA reveal coming soon. Got a couple cards coming back my way that I've been talking about for a couple weeks here. I think I'm getting them next weekend. So that's it for now, guys. If you enjoy and like this kind of content, please feel free to like and subscribe. And we'll talk on the next video, everyone. Thanks for jumping on. Bye-bye.